Hello everyone, this is Lone Star Lawman, back again finally with a new gun review. This will be an informal review of course, but I'll do what I can to give you all the information that you need. What the gun we have today that we're looking at is the Walther PDP Compact. Yes, a compact, which is, as y'all know, when I do anything on this channel that has to do with carry firearms, it's going to be something that you carry, either concealed or open. I'm not really into the competition type stuff, but I will tell you a little bit about that with Walther here in a few minutes. But the Walther PDP is a 9mm pistol. It holds 15 rounds in each magazine that it comes with. 2 magazines come with it. I went ahead and bought a third one from Gun Mag Warehouse. Okay, so I've got 3 of them now that you can carry for concealed carry. First, let's look at this thing. It has a 4-inch barrel. It holds, like I said, it holds 15 rounds. It has a great grip. Now, when I went to the store to look for one of these, I wasn't sure which one I wanted. Did I want the PDP compact like this one, or did I want a larger one? Which I was pretty sure I wasn't going to get a larger one, for reasons what I just said. But there was an F model, which is smaller and thinner in the grip here, and the trigger is going to set back a little bit more. It comes in a 4 and 3.5 inch barrel. Now they say the F stands for female. It was supposedly marketed for females with smaller hands, but that isn't exclusively to females or women. It can be even, men that have smaller hands. It just may fit you better. But when I took hold of each one, and I took hold of this one, I mean, it just was perfect. Just perfect. I have large hands, but I don't have super large hands. But if you notice where my thumb is as I grip, here I'll put it in the magazine, and I really don't have to move my thumb much or change my grip much when I have to reload. So watch this. Just slightly maybe. Try again, slightly. Okay, but not nearly as pronounced as some of the other guns that I've owned, where you have to really turn the thing around and really move your thumb over and what have you. So I haven't had to be able to do that. Okay, this trigger is incredible. To let you know, the PDP Compact or the PDP series, which is the larger one and the compact one, the F series, is replacing the PPQ. Now, if you're not familiar with the PPQ, it's been around for quite a while, but Walther wanted to upgrade and make their pistols better, and I think they have. Look at this slide right here. You see these are called super terrain serrations. You have a bevel here on each side for holstering, easy holstering, and of course it's optics ready. It has an optics plate. I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a minute. The only downside I saw when I got this thing is that it has plastic sights, just like a Glock. Okay, but I'll be telling you about me changing the sights out here before too long. I'll go over that with you too. Okay, let's make sure this is clear and safe. It is. Nothing in there. No magazine. Okay. I'm going to test the trigger for you to show you how good this trigger really is. It is striker fired. So you put your finger on there, and of course this is the safety, but it just goes really easy. It doesn't like it's stiff, like stiffer on a Glock. Glock seems to be a little stiffer. It just goes in really easy, and watch this. Here's how far you have to go. A little take up, Bang. Now, gotta do the reset. Look at that right there. Let's do that again. Isn't that incredible? That's incredible that it would reset that easily. Okay? Now, one thing about the Walther pistols that they're doing now that they haven't done in the past, I think they've been doing this, probably done it for about a year maybe or two, is I'll show you on the other side. As you see, there are no German proof marks. They used to have like a DE in white lettering here, and the banner on there would say Walther, and then it would maybe put the year and everything, and then it would say right here where it says Fort Springs, Arkansas. Let me get that up there so you can see it. Fort Smith, Arkansas, I should say. It would say Ulm, Germany. Okay? But the rest of the slide, it says made in Germany. And yes, all the parts are made in Germany. You say, well, what's Fort Smith, Arkansas doing on there? Well, apparently, I did some research, and Walther apparently was having to pay pretty extensive import taxes when they sent the whole gun in. And when you send the whole gun overseas, it has to be proof marked with the German proof marks. So that's why they were doing it that way. Then they decided that, well, we'll just send them in parts. So they would, like for instance, they would take the fully made slide and the guide rod and send that separately, and then maybe send the frame separately. I don't know exactly how they did it, but they did something to where it would be in parts and ship over, and then they would avoid all those big heavy import fees and having to proof mark all their guns. That's my understanding of it. Okay, that's why you don't see any German proof marks on there. And people, what happens in Arkansas is they take those parts and they assemble the gun, not manufacture, not create, but reassemble. They assemble the guns at Arkansas, in Arkansas. It's still made in Germany. Every part in this gun is made in Germany. It's just something that Walther started to do. It does have a full Picatinny rail right here. Now you see that right there, that's a stainless steel guide rod that did not come with the gun, and I'll show you what did come with the gun. One thing that really irks me is a lot of gun manufacturers are shipping out semi-automatic pistols, not a lot, but there's some with polymer guide rods. I can't stand polymer guide rods. I had one when I got my SIG 229 years ago. It was in there, and I'm going, I can't believe this. So I mailed off from the website Gray Guns, and I got a steel one, and it really makes a difference in recoil. Okay, I'm going to take this Barton and show you what that recoil spring looks like, and everything else, of course. Now, like in these mini striker fired pistols, you have to pull the trigger, and then I'll show you what comes next. Actually, why don't we do this part first? These two tabs right here, there's a tab here, there's a tab on this side, but you have to come back and just kind of pull the gun up a little bit, just slightly. And let's see, you got pull the trigger, and then come back slightly, and it should come off. Should I do this right? There we go. Like I said, new gun takes getting used to how to take it apart every time. Probably only the third time I've taken it apart, except for cleaning. I did go to the range, and I'll tell you a little bit about that here in a minute. Okay, let's look at the, go ahead and look at the frame. Oh, back to my old camera setup, so I'm having trouble getting used to it again. There it is, right in there. Here's how the trigger system is. Right there. I believe that's your ejector, I believe. Okay. And it's pretty light, very light, of course, as you would expect. And let's look at the inside of the slide. There's that stainless steel guide rod. Here, I won't take it out just yet. I want to show you what actually came with the gun. And it was, I just can't believe this, you know, that they had the gun made with this. Oh, I'm sure it's really functional and it's okay. But if you look at it closely, it's, you know, all polymer. It's got grooves in it and what have you. The one side that you put in on the back side has a little dent right there. Of course, this goes in the front. It's very light, but I did not want that in my gun. I wanted a steel one. Okay, so let's take that off. Get a better look at this. And I'll tell you where this comes from too. This nice looking stainless steel guide rod, but by the way, it weighs 41 grams, so it can take it. I mean, it's good for weight in the front of the pistol up with recoil. It's a flat spring, you can see. And this is a 18-pound spring. The factory one, let's put them both together. The factory one is an 18.6. And so this should work fine, and it did work fine for me on the range when I took it to the range. But this is what's known as the duty spring and guide rod, because you can use this in just about anything, and including plus P loads if you need to. Mainly for, you know, for cops, basically. Something you can carry a duty pistol, so you have a duty recoil spring guide rod and spring to use for that. Plus this way, you can't put oil. You can't really put oil on a polymer spring. It'll probably be deteriorated. I could be wrong. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. But on this, you can put a drop or two here or whatever and roll it around, and then it should work just fine for you. Okay. Oh, and by the way, you want to know where this comes from? The name of the company that puts this out is ZR Tactical. Z's and zebra, R's and Robert Tactical. And they're online. You just type that in, you'll find it. They have, this is an 18-pound spring. They have like a 15-pound spring. They have a 13-pound spring, depending on what you're used for, competition or just target shooting and want easy recoil. So you can check that out at ZR Tactical. Okay. I think it's zrtactical.com, I believe. Okay. Let's take a look at the barrel. Let's get in here and look at the barrel before we go to the complete slide. Okay. Standard Walther barrel. It is very accurate. I'm not sure if it's match grade or not. Maybe somebody can tell me about that. It's got a nice feed ramp. Polished. You look in there, it's nice and clean, shiny. Of course, it has all my signature gun grease that I use, which is Enos Slide Glide, E-N-O-S Slide Glide. I like very light grease instead of oil in parts that are actually rubbing against each other, because I think the gun will last longer that way. I put that, here's the slide. I see it's shining because of the light gun grease I have in there. And it works very well. Of course, I have the light gun grease in the rails. It just, things going back and forth all the time. A little light gun grease, I think, is better than oil. And Enos Slide Glide, it's kind of sticky and it just stays on there. The only thing you got to remember is not to put on too thick. Just a very light coating. Okay. This is the striker, of course, back here. I haven't investigated the striker exactly, but on what parts are in there yet, but I will. But it's worked pretty well for me. So that's just a snapshot look at what all that looks like. Let's put it all back together. First the barrel. It's easy to put it back together, really. Take the big end right there, and then the one that has the dent in it is going to go in the back. So here it goes. Goes in that little divot right in there. No problem. See, that's pretty easy. Now, I will tell you about ZR Tactical. They do sell uncaptured guide rods. This is what's known as a captured guide rod. When it's on both ends, it's just one piece. The uncaptured type is just the big long spring and the long guide rod, and you have to put them together, and then it's a little more difficult to put it through the gun. Okay. All right, now we got that out of the way. Got that put in there. Everything's back in the gun. Let's put it back together. I should show you when we put this back together. There's one little thing you need to do. I understand when you get to about this point, right up in here, you got to make sure you push down a little bit on the side and then back, and then it's good. That's all you do. It snaps, everything snaps into place. Function check. Okay. So that's how you take it apart. Very easy. Of course, all the modern handguns, you can do that. My understanding too, this is more modular than the guns that they've had in the past. Like you can mix and match sides and what have you, but I haven't really investigated it that far yet. But my understanding, it is modular. And to let you know a little history on this gun, on the PDP, it came out in February of 2021. It's a more concealable version of the larger full-size PDP. These magazines only have 15 round capacity. The full-size part of this gun has 18 rounds, and of course it's longer grip, longer magazine. But that was just something I think was too much for me. I think I was very happy getting this size. It is replacing the older PBQ model. The compact version here was built to bridge the gap between performance duty features and concealed carry practicality. Its history takes back to the development of the full-size PDP, with the pre-production versions that happened in 2020. But this came out just slightly later, okay, in 2021. So it's been out. This particular model has been out for about 4 years now. If there's any problems with it, I'm sure they will work it out. The one thing I have read online from some people, they do say that since the trigger is so light, is that sometimes it goes out of battery somehow and you pull it back like this or whatever. I'm not sure about that, but there's some other videos out there about that that will tell you about that. I did notice when I did go to the range, which I'll give you all another range report when I break it in even more. I took some Winchester NATO 124 grain bullets with it and shot off about 150 rounds. I don't think I had any problem till the very end when I got a double feed, but I went back and I tried to figure out why is this happening, and it shouldn't have happened, but it's funny how it went on the very last mag in the last few shots. So I thought that was kind of weird, but I looked things up. In the Winchester NATO round is a very powerful round, almost the same that the troops use. So it's mainly a duty type round, and the propellant powder is dirty. It shoots pretty dirty. that may have been an issue with it, because I did lube it up real good and everything before I went and shot it. But we're going to find out next time when I go. And I'm going to take some different ammunition. Probably going to take the Blazer 9mm with me, which is supposed to be a much cleaner burning bullet and cartridge. My favorite, of course, is the, if I haven't told y'all before, is Cellular and Below. They make really good ammunition, and it's clean, and it's very good. So that's probably going to be the next batch I buy. Okay. I won't forget to tell you all about the back strap. This is the standard back strap that comes with the gun when you buy it in the store. It does have a larger one. Look how big this one is. It even has a little beaver tail right there. But once I took hold of this and everything, I said, my hands aren't monkey paws. They're not huge. So I let that off, and this just felt fine. And then I knew that the small one certainly wouldn't make it any better. So that's why I kept it on there. All right, I promised I was going to tell you about the sights and the optics ready portion. I'll tell you about that. I'm not a big optics man, but my understanding is that you can get optics on this. And let me see if I still have that piece of paper in here. I don't have it in here. But anyway, there's a piece of paper that gives you the opportunity to scan a QR box, and you can mail off from the company, Walther, for a plate. The only thing is that it's brand specific. There's like 3 or 4 of them, and I haven't decided to get one yet or not, because I'm thinking about using the sights. I'm an iron sights man, always have been. Nothing wrong with optics. It's just that for concealed carry, I just don't believe it would help me that much. Maybe it will. I'm sure it may do that. A lot of people say it does, but I just have no desire to get one. But what I did do, here we go. Let me first show you these tools before I get off on another topic. These tools that comes with the gun. Here is your optics tool to unscrew these and to put on the new optic plate. The optics that I do have on my rifles and my carbines are Holosun, and they do offer I believe they have one from Trigon, and they have one from Holosun, of course, and a couple others. You just have to look at the ones you want and get the appropriate optic for your gun. This little itty bitty guy right here came in that little package, and that is for, oh my goodness, there we go. I can see what I'm doing. And you use it for these screws right here on the side. This one is for height adjustment, and this one is for wind. Oh, I'm sorry, I want to make sure you get on the camera. The other one is for windage. You can see them real, let me get this up here where you can see it really good. I'm sorry, folks, if I'm knocking it all over the place and not showing it real good. There's the sights. It's a 3-dot white sight system, and there are the screws on the side right there. Ordinary front dot, white dot front sight. Okay? All right. Now, there will be a part 2 to this gun. And that reason that being is that I'm looking to put on some excess sights. This is known as the minimalist. That's right, minimalist. This has, I'm not going to get it out of the box, but I'll show up on camera what it looks like. You see how it's got those nice wavy lines there that helps reflect glare, stop glare, and it actually angles itself like 1 degree toward you and you can use it to rack with too once you get it on there if you have to do it one-handed. And I got the orange dot, tritium dot, and I just think, you know, my old eyes when I'm pointing the gun down range and I'm looking at, I see that red dot, and I just have those two little open windows to the right and left of the dot will suit me just fine. It does come with some thread locker or light Loctite, I believe they call it. I am contemplating doing it myself, but then again, I've never done it before. I mean, I'm going to watch some videos and see what, I'll make up my mind if I want to do that, or if I just want to take it into a local gun store and have them do it for me. I'm leaning more toward having them do it for me, because once you screw this up, it's hard to fix, right? So that will probably come in the next video when I finally have those on, and we'll see how they look, and I'll have another range report showing how's it's going. And only 150 rounds so far, but we'll see what happens next time. Okay. Oh, and I got this from a Bass Pro company, which is also part of Cabela's. Normally I would get it in a local gun shop instead of a box store, but unfortunately the local gun store that I was looking at didn't have any, so that's what I was left with. Okay, well, I'm sorry it's been so long since I got back to y'all to do a review, but guns are expensive, and when you want a new one, it takes a while to get one if you don't have the money. So fortunately I got this one, and I can tell you this right now, being a German manufacturer, I would not say that this is better than HK, because I think HKs are like the gold standard, right? But this is like not that far behind, and it's not as expensive as an HK. I got this at Cabela's for $5.99. That's right, $5.99. That's not a bad price at all. So the next time I talk to y'all, I'll have the new sights on. I'll also have a new Vetter holster. You know, if you need a Vetter, they sent me this, by the way, they sent me this mat when I ordered my holster. But I want to leave that for another day when we do the holster and the sights. Okay. One thing what I want to ask for you guys and gals out there who maybe have done the putting of sights on a pistol, some of you that have experience, let me know in the comments if it was hard or was easy, or you, or the folks that maybe took to a gun store and had it mounted. I want to hear from y'all too. Okay? All right. That's about all I have for today. This is Lone Star Lawman signing off from Texas, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.